Hey everybody, it's me, About Maybe, and I am recording this on my PS5 now. So hopefully this audio is of higher quality than before. Anyway, this isn't too scripted of a video, it's just... I have 5 perks I want nerfed, okay? That's about it. We're gonna start at the one I want nerfed the least, and go down to the perk that I want nerfed the most. Yeah, that's basically it. Let's get started. So at number 5, we have Dragon's Grip. Now, I think that Dragon's Grip itself is not overpowered, but I don't get why they keep buffing this perk. They have been buffing it so much over my years playing the game. It just has way too short of a cooldown now, and I think that can tend to be problematic, especially against stronger characters like Ghoul, Singularity, and stuff. And I know, the idea is, oh, don't touch the gen. Like, the gen's aggressive. I want to stop. Aggression, you know? But I know that's not the biggest deal. My biggest thing with this is I go to tap stop a gen from regressing, I get exposed, and oh, now all of a sudden, you know, I can't go for the hook save. Person gets to second stage, they die, and again, I know it's a bit of a specific situation that I'm describing here, and how many games am I going to lose to Dragon's Grip as Survivor? Not many, but I think that overall, just how often you can apply Expose with this perk, all those situations I've described will come around a whole lot more. I just don't think it needs to have this shorter cooldown, especially since Expose is one of the best stats effects in the entire game. Moving on to number 4, we have Remember Me. I hate this perk. It is such a bad designed perk. It encourages you to tunnel out one survivor so you can get the effects of the perk to work, which is incredibly stupid. And when it came to the anti-tunnel changes, the devs didn't even think to change Remember Me around. Maybe we should nerf this perk. Maybe we should rework it. No. When Remember Me works, it works because you tunneled somebody out, or you're chasing the obsession in the end game, and if this thing gets to full power and the obsession is dead, or again, you're chasing them, it's way too good. It's just way too much. Unlike with No Way Out, you can stealth that out, and with No Way Out, you are encouraged to not tunnel. But with this perk, you are encouraged to tunnel and you can't wait it out. It's so stupid. And I get it, on the weaker killers, it's not gonna do anything. It's like, even if this perk was mega buffed to cause it, like, it's 100 seconds, open the gate, it'd still be really bad on Trapper Skull Merchant. Still probably wouldn't be worth running on the weaker killers. But when it comes to things like Singularity, Ghoul, even... not even. It's Ghoul Stream. Dracula, Nurse Blight, like, this perk is just so horrible. Because it's so easy to tunnel that person out, and you don't care about the anti-tunnel as much as the lower tier killers, so you can handle it. Especially just slap on Noed, especially on those killers, and it's like, oh well. Oh, did you do all the gens? Guess what? You basically got the equivalent of one more gen. I think that it is just an unhealthy perk. I would like to see it reworked, but until that happens, I do want to see it nerfed. I think it's way too strong. And that's it. Number 3 is Breakout. So Breakout is basically just stupid design as well. It makes it uncounterable to hook. Let me rephrase that. You can't hook in certain areas if Breakout is in play. Like, Toba Landing, if you down a survivor at the very top area of the main building where the gen is, and there's a survivor nearby a breakout, it is literally impossible, and I know this because survivors did this to me, to ever end up hooking a survivor in that situation. It is ridiculous, unless you have, like, Iron Grasp or Agitation. Breakout takes something which is already, honestly, kind of short. It doesn't take too long to break out. Like, there are so many times where I'm like, yeah, I can make it to this hook, and then I'm like, wow, it really took you that little to break out? Did you go flip-flop? No, not even a little bit from flip-flop helping there? Wow, okay. And this just makes it so much shorter, and it makes it, again, uncounterable to hook in some areas. And any strategy that just makes the killer not be able to hook, I think is a bad strategy. I think that Sabo, in general, is not good design, and I think it should be reworked completely. So again, like Remember Me, I think this perk would be good to be reworked, but also just, again, a nerf. Because, this is a very strong perk. So is Remember Me. And their reworks would most definitely probably end up being nerfs because of how good the perks are. But, like, they should be reworked and they should be nerfed. Sorry. They're just way too good and honestly unhealthy. At number 2, this is a perk that I have been advocating since, like, day 1 of it being in the game, this being nerfed. And that is Friends Till the End. Friends Till the End is such a ridiculous perk. Let me compare it to another perk that gives you info on survivors when you hook another survivor, being Barbecue and Chili. Barbecue and Chili will show you the auras of all survivors further than 40 meters away from you when you hook a survivor, and I believe that duration lasts for like 4 seconds. Now there are some counters for this. Be within 40 meters of the killer, be ready for the unhook, and you could also hide in a locker, just off the record as well. It takes skill to counter Barbecue and Chili. It takes macro game. It takes, okay, so this is a 40-meter terror radius killer. I know that I need to be within that terror radius or else I'm going to get shown by Barbecue. There's no lockers around, especially, so I got to get in that killer's terror radius ASAP. Or, oh, I got to get in a locker ASAP. Like, that's cool. And with Friends Till the End, that counterplay is reduced to get in a locker. That's it. There's no locker around. Oh, you're exposed. Or, oh, you scream, you become the obsession. And I wouldn't have a problem with that, except it happens with every hook. You expose a survivor with every hook, and you get information on another survivor every single hook. And for how strong of an effect Friends Till the End has, again, causing exposed, you can't just have perks that give survivors exposed willy-nilly. You can't just have perks like that. And it's comboing really well with things like Furtive Chase, Nemesis, other obsession-based perks. It's just too good. It's just way too good of a perk. And I don't think it's the most broken thing, but I do think it is overpowered. You just get too much information. What I would do, and this is going to be one of the perks that I actually recommend a change for. Like, I guess I recommended a change for Dragon's Grip just increase the cooldown. But just have it activate on every other hook. I think that if you had it activate on every other hook, this perk would be fun. And also, it can only go to survivors that have the least amount of hook states. Because it is so stupid when I am playing Survivor, I get hooked first, and I'm the obsession, or they go find the obsession, and, you know, I get unhooked, they down the obsession, they hook the obsession, I scream, and then the killer is a really high mobility killer. They come over to meet the person, you know, we got unhooked, and I get tunneled. I'm like, well, that's really fun. I'm really glad that there's no safeguards there. And I got, you know, the killer had an easier time tunneling me because of RNG. That's so fun. That's such good game. And yet, I would take every single one of those perks being buffed again for some of them. Then go another minute with this perk not being nerfed, and that is Sprint Burst. How we as a community have decided that Sprint Burst doesn't need to be nerfed is insane to me. This perk is the single stupidest thing I've ever seen in a video game for one simple reason, and that is it is just about the most overpowered thing you can have in a video game. It is up there with nerf levels of BS with how overpowered this perk is. So let's just look. Every 40 seconds, except for at the start of the game, because you can activate at the start of the game, pressing the sprint button gives you 150% movement speed for 3 seconds. Just right away, I want you to know that this is the effect for most other exhaustion perks in the game. But you don't need to meet any conditions. You don't need to vault a window. You don't need to vault a pallet. You don't need to... Except there's no stagger for balanced landing. You don't need to fall from a high place. You don't need to time a dead hard to get another burst of speed. You don't need to stun a killer with a pallet. You press one button and you get all of that. That's already really stupid. But not only that, you can 99 it and do it mid-chase, which is also really stupid. Imagine old dead hard for distance, but it takes more skill, admittedly, more skill. Not that much, I'll be completely honest, not that much skill. And also, you can use it around the map for mobility. Like, just look at this footage right here. How many survivors have sprint bursts? On a shorter map where they pre-run with sprint burst, where survivors pre-run with sprint burst, if you are not a killer of mobility, you are probably going to go across the entire map before you even hit them or close to the entire map. Like, if they pre-run on Toba, like, I know for a fact, I am probably going to the complete opposite side of the map before I can even get a single hit on them. It's stupid. It helps you avoid every single ranged attack in the game. It helps you go take a body block when you need to. It does take skill. It does take skill, but again, not as much skill as people make it out to be. And also, just because something takes skill, just because nerfs take skill, doesn't mean it needs to be so blatantly overpowered. And again, you get this every 40 seconds. How on earth have people been okay with this perk? And I know, it used to be worse. Exhaustion used to apply differently for every exhaustion perk, so I could sprint burst and balance landing in a chase. I can have my exhaustion run down in a chase, so I can sprint burst multiple times. That still doesn't mean the perk is not just completely overpowered. It boggles my mind, especially with Vigil as well. Vigil, this came pop in my mind. Vigil makes sprint burst 24 seconds. It is so stupid. And I know what you're saying. Just run Mindbreaker. Just run an exhaustion add-on. Just run an exhaustion break. First of all, most exhaustion add-ons are not going to trigger before they do the sprint burst, which in that case, it's already done. It's already too late. They've already sprint bursted to oblivion. Second of all, again, if I have to run a perk because another perk is so oppressive, maybe it's time to nerf that oppressive perk. Just saying. Just waving my jazz hands. Just saying. I'm just playing the video game. And I'm saying Sprint Burst is absolute B to the S. Sprint Burst? SB? Reverse it. It's BS. See, Sprint Burst is so dumb. And I know I kind of went on an unhinged rant here. But at the same time, I feel like my point still stands. That this perk is just completely... so good. I used to think that you could just make it 60 seconds. I don't even think that now. I think in order to get something as powerful as Sprint Burst, you need to have a requirement of some sort. You need to be unhooked once, you need to get an unhooked, you need to complete a generator or something. You yourself have to repair a total amount of generator, maybe not complete one generator. You need to be in chase with the killer for a bit, and then you can get it next year. There needs to be some sort of requirement for the perk that just completely outshines every single exhaustion perk in the game, and has ever since the game's release. Yes, Old Dead Hard was worse than Old Sprint Burst. Fight me on this. Because, well, that's just, again, to be fair, I do only know that from looking at old footage, but looking at old footage, I'm like, how on earth, like, yeah, Old Dead Hard was BS, but Old Sprint Burst is just way more powerful. Still is. Sprint Burst is just so incredibly stupid, and I kind of went into it. It counters so many killer powers as well. Like, legions, even, like, you can sprint burst away from a ghoul, and it's hard for them to hit you afterwards. Exactly, but you can, in a lot of situations, still do that. You can sprint burst away from a ranged killer's attack, like I said. Oh, and animatronics using his doors? Oh, well, just sprint burst away. It's not like pre-running already completely destroys that killer, along with 90% of the killer roster. Let's make free running even better basically for free. It is a stupid perk because of how overpowered it is. It is incredibly overpowered. I do not understand how this perk has gone so long without being nerfed. Please. If I were to nerf this perk, I'd give it some sort of requirement in order to even get the sprint burst and make the exhaustion last longer. Sprint burst is already so good, it doesn't need any compensatory buffs. I don't want to see any of that background player stuff where we give a shorter exhaustion timer because now you gotta earn it. That's stupid. Don't do that. Just nerf the perk. Just nerf. No buff, only nerf. Anyway, thank you for listening to my absolute unhinged tangent that was recorded at, like, what time is it? 9:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you all so much. I'm glad I finally got out another video. Yeah. It's about this time I should mention that I did have a twins. I think I've mentioned this before, but just in case, I'll do it again. I mentioned on my stream plenty of times that I was gonna have a interview. I interviewed a twins main, and that is gonna take a while because all the interview notes are on Discord, and I deleted Discord because there was too many things causing me anxiety on that app. And I told myself, until I go through therapy and get done with therapy, which I'm doing through my college, I am not reinstalling Discord. I told myself that. So by the time that I get done with that, hopefully Twins isn't reworked or changed too much, and I can still use all the Twins. All the Twins main sayings. I need to go to bed. I'm sleep deprived today. Anyway. So quick shout out to that Twins mate. It is Cinnabunny. She's a friend. Probably seen her around if you're a friend of, well, mine and any of my other friends. Well, she's a friend of friends, basically. She's very cool. I enjoy good voice back. I enjoy talking with her very much. And thank you as well to all my friends in the Dead by Daylight community. Just thank you all so much. I can't wait to get through with this therapy and join you all back on Discord again. I'm super excited to talk with y'all again. Yeah, and thank all of you for just tuning in and watching this video. I appreciate it. I'm gonna try and get some more scripted videos in at some point. I'm busy with college and work, so I'm feeling very burdened a lot, but maybe during Thanksgiving break I can do something. Yeah, especially when both. Next semester as well, we'll probably have more videos, hopefully. That is when marching band ends, so I will not have to go to marching band practice 3 days a week, which means I just have more free time to do my stuff, which means I'll have more free time in general because my stuff will be done. That's about it. I've talked for long enough. This video is long enough. I love you all so much. Thank you all so much. Join me, as always. Catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.